this. All right, so we're gonna spend next 30 minutes reviewing the homework that you may or may not have done. We're going to be discussing today your peers, who y'all will be teaming up with. We're gonna base it off of who's in class right now. And then every week we're gonna switch it up, or every 2 weeks we're gonna switch it up. And we're gonna use Saturdays to go through your peers and make sure that I'm doing check-ins with y'all every Saturday. The first thing we want to talk about is the HTML homework. What was the HTML homework? It was to go through the HTML guides provided to you by the Mozilla developer docs. So they have some nice little modules, introduction to HTML, multimedia and embedding, HTML tables, solving common HTML problems, web forms, things that's really good for us to just know. Somebody making noise. I'm gonna mute. Okay. Things that's just good to know. So somebody asked me last week a very good question. The question was, hey, do you know everything? Like, how much of this do you actually have to memorize? And the answer was, I do not have this memorized. I have references to how this thing is built, how HTML works, so that way I can Google what I specifically need to know. What does that mean? So HTML, they are HTML elements. They are built out of a few little pieces. Let's go to this explanation. Much of what's covered in the HTML basics article is also covered in our intro. All right, so understanding the basics of how this thing is structured allows you to understand what you can do with this, what you need to find with this, and what you essentially what you need to do to solve the problems. An HTML element, understanding its anatomy, its opening tag, its closing tag, whatever is in between those two will be the content, and all that makes up the element that you can add an attribute to it. Adding these attributes change how that element is read by either screen readers, by computers, browsers, et cetera, like adding a value for class. This is something that's going to be commonly used when we start using CSS styling. CSS styling references classes, so that way we can add the same styling to a whole group of HTML elements. The fact that we can nest elements, how to properly nest elements, having the closing tags. This is the wrong way to do it. This is the right way to do it. Having them closing tags in between and then having an element outside of it. Understanding how HTML elements, by nesting them, create a whole tree of elements that eventually make up a website. So this is just a whole bunch of HTML elements nested under HTML elements, nested under HTML elements. An attribute should have the following: a space between it and the element name, the attribute name followed by an equal sign, the attribute value wrapped by opening and closing quotation marks. So these are things we covered in the last class, and we're going through these. So going through, understanding that, hey, there's an attribute. I need to get an image on the page, and I need that image to be pulling from this file. For me to even do that, I got to be like, hey, I need an image HTML tag. Look, image HTML tag. Oh, source, alt, width, height. I wonder what these things do. Look, references to what the attributes are. Alt specifies an alternate text for an image. Its value is a text. Height is values pixels, specifies the height. Loading, So I do not memorize what the attributes are on specific elements. I know I need to find an image. I know it's an HTML tag or HTML element, and I'll look it up and I'll find something that gives me more information. And that's essentially what we're going to be learning. We're going to be learning the basics to give you the ability to learn more and know what you're learning. Guide you to the information you need to find in the most easiest, simplest way. So now that we covered that, with the next 25 minutes, we're going to go through some of the initial. How do I make this? How do I want this? I'll just put it over here. All right, we're going to go through some initial, some of the initial work. Introduction to HTML, getting started, covers the absolute basics. Actually, we did that to get that. What's in the head? All right, had to hide my floating meeting controls because those are always annoying. Before I show you this, let me show you what is some practical usage of it. So I know you said this looks scary. Promise you this is not that scary. So this is React testing library. React testing library is designed to write tests. So that way you have on the developer side, before it even gets shipped out to anybody else, you have the ability to write tests that prevent you from accidentally breaking features that you implemented. This will make sure that if you change any feature that you implement, your test will break. So one thing I want to show is this thing called get by role. Get by role, we're grabbing the link. Why are we grabbing links? Or get by alt text, actually. Get by alt text is grabbing the alt text from an image. These are important because the alt text is the attribute that we are adding to the image. So it's very important that we use these attributes and use them correctly, because we're going to use how we format the HTML to test it. So that's one practical usage of it. All right, so let's talk about HTML head. Let's first look at what it is in the actual page. The head of an HTML document, move this over. The head of an HTML document is the part that is not displayed in the web browser when the page is loaded. It contains information such as the page title being over here, what's in the head. Links to CSS if you choose to style your HTML content with CSS. Links to custom favicons. Favicons are this little image right next to the title. And also, let me show y'all what that looks like, because we're talking about the head. So this is the head of the document. In the head of the document, you see the title, what's in the head, metadata. We see the favicon somewhere here, probably at the bottom. It should say like image, I believe. Let's see. I got a whole lot of link, route, icon, favicon. Here's the favicon. So here, that's what gives the little M branding sign, super important. So people know your content or your brand or your business. Web browser use information contained in the head to render the HTML document correctly. In this article, we'll cover all of the above and more in order to give you a good basis working with markup. What is the HTML head? Let's revisit the simple HTML document we covered. We're not going to revisit it. Why? Because we have a perfect little example right here. And we also have this perfect example. So head, meta char set, UTF-8. This has to be included. We're going to find out what that's about soon. Then the title, my test page, is their example. And then they have the body, which is the actual content on the page. The HTML head is the content of the head element. Unlike the contents of body element, which are displayed on the page when loaded in a browser, the head content is not displayed on the page. Instead, the head's job is to maintain metadata about the document. We don't need to understand too deeply what metadata means, but metadata is, in the simplest definition, data that describes data.
So that might explain like the work we were doing last week, why, like it usually colors up in VS Code. We were typing stuff at me in last week and it was just all white for me. Is that why?
No, I have extensions built in to my VS Code, extensions that you're probably going to want to add, that pretty much marks up the document. But also, if you put .html, it depends on how you made your file, right? If you put .html, VS Code automatically knows that's HTML and will mark it up with colors. So check your documents. We're going to look at your file. We're going to go through some of these in your file. All right.
Okay.
So let's see here. Adding a title. We've already seen the title element in action. This can be used to add a title. H1 element appears on the page. Let me open up. Let me open up. To start off this active learning, we'd like you to go to our GitHub repo and download a copy of this. All right. So I expect y'all all to be actively following. So y'all should have this page open. Y'all should have the link to open this document up, right? You have two options. The option they want you to do is to learn how to use Git clone and stuff, but also you can literally just copy and paste this into your document. Let's see, must be signed in. Let me sign in because clearly they lock some features. I didn't get a test. Oh, I gotta have the app. All right. I don't feel like downloading the app because it's a new phone. So we're gonna go the lazy route today. Next time I'll show y'all how to clone and do other stuff with this. Though I'm not really a fan of this specific area they brought us to. This is definitely for, oops. File, new window. All right, so follow along if you have not created an index.html file. Right now, where are we? We are in applications. I mean, not applications. We're at the root directory of my folder. If you are following exactly how I did it, you will most likely be at the root directory of your folder. I'm going to make a new directory called Coding Course, right? mkdir, make directory. Also zoom in just so that way folks can see better. In this new directory, I'm going to call touch. Touch on the command line creates a file, while make dir calls creates a directory, makes a directory or a folder. So in this folder called Coding Course, I'm going to add a file that says index.html. All right. And then we are going to go to our HTML file And then we're going to paste this in. All right. So please let me know if you have not gotten to this point. If you have not gotten to this point, we're going to do some share screens and we're going to work through it.
I have not.
All right. Share your screen.
All right. 1 second here.
Let me stop sharing my screen.
Sorry, I'm switching to Zoom from the phone to the laptop.
I'm trying to figure out where my Zoom is at. Oh, I hit the control bar. I forgot. How do I get these control bars back up now? Zoom, 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 zoom. Zoom, 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 zoom. All right, I really do not like Zoom.
All right. Interesting. How do I share? Oh, there we go. Share screen.
Can you take it from me? Is that possible?
You disabled it.
I disabled it.
It's disable participation screen sharing.
Let's see. I got to figure out how to get my floating controls back, because that that is what I need to stop this screen share, and it's not coming back. I wonder if it's because I'm full screen. Here we go. There we go. This very annoying thing. All right, stop share. Share screen, multiple participants can share. All right, you got it, Angelica.
Uh-huh. You are mute. Not there.
Thank you. So, did you call make directory? Let's go to your terminal. Yeah, that's your terminal. That's your whole terminal. At the bottom, there's your typing section. Press the dot button, period, /. Now press tab, and let's see if it does an autocomplete. Okay, well, it tried to do an autocomplete. It didn't really show the rest of everything. All right, delete that. All of that. All right, type mkdir. That's make directory space. And then call it code or courses or whatever. All right, make directory code, press enter. All right, you got a new directory called code. Now we're gonna call touch. Type touch. When I say call, I mean like we're running a function. So we're gonna call this command line tool, which is running an executable, a function type, something that runs, space. Now we're gonna type in code and then add a /, and then we're gonna type out index.html. So once you put the .html, VS Code will know that this thing is HTML. Press enter. The term is not known. Okay, because Windows has another way to make their own files. So let me find out the Windows way. Windows, or you can also go on your browser and Google Windows touch command PowerShell. Windows does not natively have a touch command. It will iterate over its argument, and for each element, if it exists, update the file timestamp. What's the Windows Touch equivalent? You simply want to create an empty file from the command line prompt or Windows PowerShell. The type and copy commands shall be considered as a Windows Touch command equivalent. So Windows Touch command equivalent, to create a new file, type null or copy null. All right, let me share my screen real quick and then we'll go back to you. Next time when y'all are sharing your screen, right, and we're going through your problem and we have to Google something, I want you to actually Google it so that way you get the practice of figuring out your own problems. So what I did was I Googled Windows Touch command and found something about the touch command equivalent for Windows. Touch command equivalent, to create a new file is a Windows Touch equivalent. You can use one of these commands. So I'm gonna paste this in the chat for you Windows folks. To change a file timestamp, we do not care about any of that. Let's see, Windows make directory equivalent. It looks like it's on Microsoft.
Yeah, I think make directory works.
All right, cool. All right, let me know about the touch command. Angelica, go ahead and share your screen again. Angelica, go ahead and share your screen. All right, now check the chat and try one of those commands, but edit it so that way it says code index.html.
Would that go where it says file text?
Ooh, I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, file text. Yeah, change file text to index.html. And you also got to change file text to code/index.html. Type null, the term is not required as the name of a command. The path is correct and try again. What? Don't add the C, Angelica. That's not what's in the chat. Or at least it shouldn't be.
It's in the chat.
That part is explaining your shell. Like that's what's in the shell. You need to add the type null part. So like the C, that whole notation is to let someone know that this is on the command line. If you see something like $, and then anything written after a $, that's telling you, hey, this is code. This is something that's being written for a computer.
Okay.
So type null space, and then the 2 arrows, and then code/index.html. Let's try that. I do not know if this works. It might be a little different, but we'll see. Because it cannot find path. Why is it trying to find your path? Let me see. What is this null thing about before you can also try the copy command and see if that one works. Touch command Windows and then PowerShell, because I can see from your terminal specifically PowerShell. Okay, I found a possibly better one. All right, so we're gonna try $null. Or you can just copy and paste it. Space arrow. And then it says file name. I'm not sure if the file name should be a string or not. So we're gonna try first unstringing it and just write code/index.html. And if that doesn't work, then we're gonna try using it as a string. All right, it looks like that worked. All right, if you press Command, click on, and then click on code index.html, it should carry you to the file. So if you hold the, oh wait, you are on a Windows.
I'm just like control.
All right, to the left, to that left menu, all the way at the top above the search bar. Yeah, that's your Explorer. Let's click that. Open folder. We're gonna open the code folder if we can find it there. Perfect. Double click. Nothing's in here. Anyway, go back or click select folder, either one. Click, yeah, select folder. It's currently on code. Just click select folder.
Oh, select folder.
All good. Yes, I trust the authors. All right, so that folder lied, the index.html file is made. All right, on the left, you see your index.html file. Click it. Now go back to the document that we should all be following along. If you haven't opened it, your MDN docs.
Okay. All right, so I'm on the MDM docs.
Did you remember any of the instructions that we did from the beginning? I literally cannot see your screen. So I need you to find the intro to HTML as if you were doing this yourself.
Okay.
Click on it, go find the instructions for, let me share my screen. I'm just gonna.
I'm on intro to HTML. Get started. Guides.
Not the get started part. We're in the what's in the head, meta in HTML.
Yep, got it.
Cool. Where were we on this? Oh, there was a link. There's a link learning area. Where is that?
What is HTML?
Let me see if I can find it again. Adding a title, active learning, inspecting a simple sample. To start off this active learning. So this is the part where we're at. Everyone should be following along. Active learning. Open this page. Cool. When you open the page, it should bring you here. Copy. Go to your VS Code. Wrong VS Code. Take that in your index HTML and paste it. All right. So I'm asked again, who is not here?
Sorry, it took me a second. I'm not here. You heard me?
Share your screen.
Cool. Also, I was a little lost. I couldn't. Can you show me how where I'm to navigate this?
Okay. Scroll past to adding a title. All right, right there in active learning. Click that.
Title example, HTML page.
Yeah, click it. What browser is this? Is this e-internet?
Some reason it opened in Edge.
Oh man. All right. Copy and paste. You gotta change your default.
My default should be in Chrome.
Copy this. VS Code. This is your index.html file. Perfect. Paste.
Here's the thing though, it's not. And that's what I needed trouble with. It just a HTML file. It's not necessarily an index one.
Well, save this, right? I can already see what your file looks like on the left. I don't know why this is called doc type HTML. Save this. Save it though. Compress control save. It's time we learn the shortcuts. You see that on the right? Control F. That's how you save. Not this. This is not at. This is save as. Cancel. Get out. Get out. Control S.
I did it again. And I pressed Control S.
What is going on? Oh, it's because you don't have a name on this file because it's called untitled.html. Did you make a directory called code? Because your thing is saying no such file or directory. All right, let's cancel. We're gonna start over for you. And while we're here, everybody's gonna learn how to delete files, right? All right, so let's see. Go to your browser. And then actually go back to your VS Code. All right, on the left, we're gonna right click Sage Coding. We're gonna delete that.
How we delete it?
Remove folder from workspace.
Okay.
The closest thing we got to that. Then in source now, so we're gonna use source as your code folder. You can right click that and you can rename it to code. What is up with your stuff? Try double clicking it. I want to see if double clicking it will change it.
No.
What is going on? Why is yours like that? Open folder, coding course.
Try that.
Let me see if I can't. Nah, if I right click, I see rename.
Okay, not that. Do I just press new file?
No. We want to rename it. Remove folder from workspace, open folder setting, add find folder. Try finding folder. Let's learn the Windows way to code in this thing. That's all it brings up.
Yes.
Go back to the folder again, the Explorer. We're on the search page. Untitled workspace. Click the top one that says open editors.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so this is what we're gonna do, right? We're gonna click file.
File.
We're gonna open workspace from, actually open folder. And we're gonna open source. Get back. We just want to actually select folder. I don't think it matters if you actually opened it or not.
Okay.
As long as the folder says source at the bottom there, and then select that folder. Same thing like Angelica. We're gonna open that folder as a workspace. So select that folder. No, the button select folder. The button select folder.
Okay.
Click it. You want to save your workspace? Don't save. Don't save. So whenever I tell you to click something, literally click it. Do not be afraid of whatever we're doing here. It's not going to hurt you. All right. So now open up your source folder. It should be empty. All right. Cool. It's empty. All right, no problem. Now what we're going to do is you're going to open your terminal. All right, now that we're in your terminal, we're going to call the command that we said, the null command that's in the chat. And we know that we're in the source directory already. So we don't even have to say null code or null source. We already know we're in there. We're just going to call null, $null, arrow.
$, no. Arrows going forward, right?
2 L's.
Oh, 2 L's.
Arrow going forward. I don't remember if it's 2. Let me check. It's only 1, and then space. No, yeah, 1 arrow.
Oh, 1 arrow. Okay.
And then index.html.
Should it still be 2 L's?
It still should be 2 L's. You don't have to delete. You can just go back. It doesn't always have to be start over from scratch.
Null arrow index.html.
All right, cool. All right, now go in your index.html file right there in the Explorer. Now paste. All right, I'm gonna ask again, is everyone here now? Nolan, Arnelia, Angel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nolan. All right. All right,
Yep.
cool. Now that we're all there, let's go. You can stop sharing your screen. Let's go back. Let's go back. Not here. All right, copy and paste the code on the page into a new text file in your text code editor and save it in a sensible place. Press the raw button on the GitHub page, which causes the raw code to appear possibly in a new browser tab. All right, so we're gonna go back to this page, the title example HTML page. We're gonna click the raw button.
What the?
So again, the literal button that says raw, you click it, it brings up the raw HTML, which causes the raw code to appear, possibly a new browser tab. Next, choose your browser, save at page as menu, and choose a sensible place to save the file. Now open the file in your browser. You should see something like this. Copy and paste the code. Oh, these are the 2 options. All right, so we chose copy and paste the code. This is the way to get it into your file by going to the raw and then saving the page as. Now open the file in your browser. You should see something like this. How to open the file in your browser. I forget how to open an HTML file in browser. Start your browser under the file menu, click on open page, file menu, open. Well, this one ain't gonna be open page, it's gonna be open file. And then coding course. I'm gonna change this to code. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I did not mean to do that. All right, we're just gonna open this HTML file because I not feel like reopening another one. But yeah, was everyone able to go on their browser, find file, either open page or open file or something like that, and then find their file that they made? If not, let me know so that we can go through this quickly because we're already.
So what I did was went to the top of the page and press run, and it says start.
There should be multiple options, not one. So if you're on your browser, and you click file on the browser, let me find the Windows specific hide floating. How to open. Start your browser. Under the file menu, click on open page. In this new box, click choose file. Once the file is found, click OK. So that's y'all way to do it. Malcolm, share your screen if you haven't reached it yet. We gotta be quick. We're halfway through the class and we have not gone through the course yet.
Hold on. I'm sorry for inconvenience.
No inconvenience. I really hate. I gotta press escape to see this thing again. All right, there we go. Thank you. All right, you got it.
Yeah, I was just saying that I did it a different way. So
How'd
I
you
just went to run and just start debugging.
Okay, I mean that is definitely different. Whatever opens the page, to be honest. Debugging debugging mode is going to activate a lot of different things that you're not really trying to launch. Press cancel. Let's try doing it the correct way. Let's go to the Chrome browser. All right, now go to file.
Dang it. How do I open file? It's like a
It should be at the top.
it should be at the top, but it's not. How do I open them? How do I get back to them?
The file menu. Let me see.
It's the little three buttons on the top right.
These three buttons.
Yes.
Then what? Arnelia, and then what?
All right, you hit control find. You see where it says find? You hit the control F. Oh, actually, no, that's the wrong one. Sorry.
Alright.
Where's open file menu in Chrome? Click that one. It's like more tools, then extensions. Find the extension. Should have this. Why is it so complicated?
I don't know, man.
So what?
That's how I opened the page though on mine.
Tool extensions.
I don't think you're supposed to click. Go back. What does that thing say? Select more tools, then extensions. Find the extension you'd like to make visible on the toolbar. That's something whoa different. That's not what we're looking for. Where's the file menu in Chrome? Click on that one.
Same thing.
Course, what more tools? How do I get? Oh, this is to add the file menu. It should have a small switch icon at the bottom right.
Okay. Extensions.
We might just do it in a different browser, to be honest.
Come on, man.
We're gonna try. VS Code doesn't have built-in HTML support, but here are extensions available in the VS Code. Open the extensions view, search live preview or HTML preview. All right, we're gonna try this, right? Go to your VS Code. We're gonna install an extension.
Okay.
Go to the last thing on the left side menu. That's extensions. We're gonna search HTML preview. All right, install HTML preview. All right, let's scroll down and read what this does. Extension to preview HTML files while editing them in VS Code. The extension can be activated in 2 ways: toggle preview and open preview to the side. All right, so let's go back to index.html and try this bad boy. Click that, Command space P, I think, or Control space P, whichever one works for you. All right, now we're gonna write open. I think you just press Command P space, like, or Command P. I need you to do Control space P, like all 3 of them.
Like from here. Oh shoot.
No, from your keyboard, like just press on your keyboard, Control space P while you're in VS Code.
Yeah.
Why is it only opening? All right, try Control P. I want to see something.
Same thing.
There's no different for you. Control Shift P. My bad, not space P. Control Shift P. There we go. Toggle. What was it called? Toggle preview. Try preview. Preview. Toggle HTML. Let's click on HTML preview again. I forgot what it's called. It should be toggle preview. All right, Control Shift V. Let's try that.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Oh.
All right. So these are the multiple ways that you can debug a problem. You try it the way someone suggests. If it doesn't work for you, you find another way that can work for you. All right. So does everyone have a preview of their HTML?
Yes.
Yes.
Sir.
All right, cool. That means now we can play around with our HTML and actually test it out. Let's go back. Let me go back to share my screen. And now for the rest of the class, we will be, well, for the rest of, first, we're gonna finish as much as this as we can. I'm gonna give us like 10 minutes to go through this, which is really just gonna be following whatever they wrote and following through that. Then we're gonna go to the Udemy course and we're gonna follow along with the Udemy course and follow along while writing in the code and watching our HTML preview change as we continue to add new features. That way we'll visually understand what these HTML elements are on a page. All right, y'all can see my screen?
No.
Thank you. Right. You should also try open the code up in your code editor, editing the contents of these elements, then refreshing the page. Have some fun with it. So let's go through what some of these are. We're gonna go through the head stuff first, and then we're gonna go to Udemy for the body stuff that we're gonna play with. Metadata, the meta element. Metadata is data that describes data, and HTML has an official way of adding metadata to a document. The meta element, of course, the other stuff we are talking about in this article could also be thought of as metadata too. There are a lot of different types of meta elements that can be included in your page's head, but we won't try to explain them all at this stage as it would just get too confusing. Instead, we'll explain a few things that you might commonly see just to give you an idea. Specifying your document's character encoding. Character encoding, what is that? Charset UTF-8. That's the most common one we'll be seeing. This element specifies the document's character encoding, the character set that the document is permitted to use. Character set. UTF-8 is a universal character set that includes pretty much any character from any human language. This means that your web page will be able to handle displaying any language. It's therefore a good idea to set this on every web page you create. For example, your page could handle English and Japanese just fine. If you set your character encoding to ISO 8859, for example, the character set for the Latin alphabet, your page rendering may appear all messed up. All right, so we understand that this is telling the browser, hey, this is the character set that you're allowed to use, and this is the universal character set. So this is what we're generally going to be using, unless there's a reason we have to use something otherwise. All right, active learning, experiment with character encoding. To try this out, revisit the simple HTML page you obtained. Try changing the meta char set value. Let me pull mine up. I want this to the side. I want this to the side. Just put this away. All right, we're gonna change the char set value to ISO 85 or 88591. I'm also going to download that extension because I like that. I like my HTML preview being, I like everything being in my IDE. The more I can get in my IDE, the better. The less I have to leave my IDE, the faster my development process can be. Toggle preview. Nope. Command Shift V. Yep. All right. We're going to hide the floating panel. And I want this side to side. I'm going to slide this over. Ooh, this is looking nasty. I could have just slid it over. So one cool thing with VS Code is you can just drag things where you want them to be. Come on. All right, so now I have my preview and my code side by side. I'm going to press Command B to get that little side menu squared away and give me more space. And now we're gonna add this in the body element. All right. This thing obviously is not respecting what I have. Adding an author. That's interesting because I would assume the ISO would make it, isn't that the Latin one? If you set the character, your page should appear in Latin, but my page is not appearing in Latin. It knows. It knows. All right, let me try Chrome. Oh yeah, I have Chrome up. File. Open file. Index.html. Oh, this is the wrong one. File, open file. Coding course. All right. So as you can see, this thing only works on the browser. Why? Because this is browser metadata. The VS Code's HTML renderer does not read browser information. The browser knows that this now is telling it to render this thing like that. All right, so little differences that we are learning between our IDEs, which even with an extension does not perfectly replicate browser behavior, which is why it's very important that when you're making websites and that you're testing, that you not only write your developer tests and you not only have your little tools to test, but you always make sure at the end of the day, it looks good and works on your actual browser. Or else you might run into some problems. All right. Now that we ran through those, we're going to start. Actually, I don't think we're done. I promise you next time I'm gonna have my browser cleaned out for y'all. Where is this thing? Let me just open it again. All right. So we know about character encoding, active learning, the descriptions use. Oh, adding an author and description, many metadata. Let's see, how many more are there? Adding custom icons. We're gonna run through this because I actually think it's very valuable to learn the basic stuff. And then we're gonna go back to Udemy course and see how far we can get with whatever remaining time we have. Two such meta elements that are useful to include in your page: define the author of the page and provide a description of the page. I'll be honest with you, we really don't do this anymore. Like this is stuff we don't do. So we're gonna skip that. But you do know you can add metadata about the author in the description. The description is used in search engines. The description is also used on search engine result pages. That's for search engine optimization, SEO. Go to the front page of the Mozilla Developer Network. Cool. I'm in your front page. What next? View the page source. Right click, view page source. Look, HTML. Find the description meta tag. It will look something like this, although it may change over time. Now search for MDN web docs in your favorite search engine. We use Google. You'll notice the description, meta and title element, content used in the search result. Definitely worth having. The MDN web doc site. The MDN web doc site provides information about open web technology. Provides information about open web technologies. Cool. And this is terrible for reading. If I add the wrap, I can see it a little better. The metadata should be somewhere at the top. The MDN doc site provides information about open web technologies, etc. All right, so that's why the description is useful. It provides a description on your search engine. Let's keep going. Other types of metadata. As you travel the web, you'll find other types of web metadata. A lot of the features you'll see on websites are proprietary creations designed to provide certain sites, such as social networking sites, with specific information they can use. Meta property, OG image, adding custom icons to your site. This is important. All right, cool with the metadata. Adding custom icons to your site. A favicon can be added to your page by doing link rel, href, favicon ico, type image x icon. So right now, our index.html file is going to look like this with a little random browser thing there, the default. So we're going to add an image to it. Find an image you like, don't really care. Free image. Hopefully it looks good enough. All right, I'm gonna save image as not Sage Leslie. I want an encoding course. So we're gonna save this image as a PNG. Actually, no, as an ICO. We're gonna save it as favicon.ico. It's gonna complain because it's not really an ICO, but we don't care. We're making an ICO anyway. All right. And then if I look, I have a favicon.ico called free. Is everyone here? Class.
I am.
I'm gonna
I
be
don't-
real. You went kind of fast, my guy.
All I did was search an image.
Mhm.
Also, if I'm going too fast, please unmute and say, hey, hold up. But I will be speaking very fast. Free, and then search an image, any image you want. Once you find that image, right click, save image as, and then try and put it in your folder, your code folder. If you're on Windows, if you're on Mac, and you see the simplified view and you're like, oh, I can't find my thing, you can open up the big view. You might not see your root directory. Don't feel too bad. Put it in your desktop. I forget how to make your root directory show. Show root directory.
Where are we saving this as again?
Favicon.ico. So this thing right here is your favicon.ico. Over here, over here, over here. It's the little image that says the brand on the title of the browser, of your web page, not of the browser, of the web page. So we have a title called title element for whatever reason. Is that what it is? Oh, it really is title element. Okay. So yeah, our title here is title element. I'm gonna change this to, this is the title. And I'm gonna put all right, oops. I'm trying to get to not, oops. Where's my save? I'm trying to get an arrow. Left of let's close out some stuff here. So we're trying to get the favicon, right? All you need to do is download an image so that way we can put that image as a favicon.ico in your folder. To do that, find an image that you want, save image as, find your folder. If you can't find your folder, just put it in the desktop and then we'll move it over in a moment. So did everyone save it either in their folder, their code folder, or desktop?
Yes. Yes.
All right. If you have in your folder, your code folder as favicon.ico, you are good. If you don't, if you have in your desktop, let me know so that way we can fix it. MV command in PowerShell. So we're going to use move item path dash destination. That is so gross. Man, I have been spoiled by this Mac. I'm not gonna lie. All right. So who has in their desktop? Let me know. Yeah, who has in their desktop? Speak up.
I got it in my folder.
You got it. If you got it in your folder, you're good. Everyone got in their folder? All right, I'm gonna assume everyone got in their folder. All right, so now we're gonna try and turn that image into a favicon icon on your page. High floating meeting controls. How are we gonna do that? Let's look. Adding the follow line into your HTML head block references it. So we just need to copy this. Where's my favicon icon? So once again, we just need to copy this. I'm gonna take that out. And we're gonna add it to our head of the document. And let's see if that works for me. All right, see, I have a favicon on my page now. Favicon to the left. I actually hate the dash dash. All right, does everyone have a favicon icon on their page? By adding the link rel favicon icon, is it on your page? If not, speak up quickly so we can run through it. Come on.
I don't have it just because I don't know where on the MDN web docs you are.
If you're following along, add custom icons to your site. A favicon can be added to your page by step 1, saving it in the same directory as the site's index page. This is the index page, the most root page. Saved in .ico format. Most browsers will support favicons in more common formats like .gif or PNG, but the ICO format will ensure it works as far back as Internet Explorer 6. So we use .ico because we want to support backwards compatible browsers. Adding the following line into your HTML's head block, references it. So once you add this to that, and if you have a favicon icon in the root of your directory, it should reference that, put it on your page, and you should get this with a favicon icon at the top. So again, who is here?
I'm here.
I'm here.
All right. Malcolm,
Yep, almost got it.
share your screen. Angel. Angel.
Oh, dang it.
Angel. 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 All right. So the red tells me that your page is broken. All right. So Command Z to undo, Control Z. Let's undo whatever you did and figure out where it's breaking. Control Z, Control Z. All right. Go back to the page. Copy this whole thing. You can also click on that copy button on the left. Not the left, the right. Try click on the copy button to the right. Let's just get the practice. Boom. So you get the little sign copied super quick. All right, now paste that.
Right there though, right?
Yep. It doesn't really matter where you put it. The way how it works is
In the head though, right?
yes.
Okay.
It has to be in the head. You can run your debugger thing to get it on the browser. But what I was saying is what it does matter, right? Oh, boom. See, you got your image, favicon, H1 element. Cool, 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 cool.
What's
So
the
what
favicon? Oh, I see it.
So what it does do is that it will load images based off of the last reference it sees. So if you go back to your VS Code, You can paste as many link rel icons as you want. You might want different icon references for different views, different screens. Like, let's say someone's on an iPhone, an iPad, or if you pasted like 4 of these in here, it was going to read it based off of the last one set. So if you had a 4th icon in here, for example, that pointed to a different favicon or something, that's how the pattern matters more. So remember, the last thing that the HTML reads that it references to is going to understand. If you put multiple meta char sets in there, it's going to base it off of the last one you set. All right. You can stop sharing your screen now. All right, we learned some pretty cool things. For reference, all browsers now should use a public folder, not this, right here. Should use a public folder. So let me hide these controls again. I'm gonna just do it this way, add folder. That way we don't have to get too much into command line tools anymore. We'll slowly start learning command line tools as we get more comfortable with VS Code. But since we want to make this experience less stressful for folks with different devices, we're going to follow VS Code's toolbars. We're going to add a public folder, right? And we're going to simply drag the favicon icon to the public folder. And if you save that, and if you refresh your page, no, all right, it does not work here. Let me do public/favicon.ico. Let's see how that works. Public/favicon.ico works. Let's see about this one. I can also call public favicon.ico. And what about just favicon.ico? So let's see, public folder, favicon, ico. This might be a React thing specifically. I'm seeing now. All right, so I'm going way too far. All right, that's a specific tool for React and not just something that we can do for browsers. All right, cool. With that all learned, let's see, what else are we gonna cover today from this? Applying CSS and JavaScript, we're not touching that. But understand that using the head is where you apply CSS and JavaScript. We don't have a style sheet and we don't have any JavaScript to write. All right, so that means we're done with this part for today. We're gonna go to Udemy Course now. We got 30 more minutes. All right, and we're gonna go and first things first, we're gonna take some of these HTML.
In this lesson, we're gonna be talking about some more.
We're gonna take some of these HTML elements that he made, and we're gonna add it to our index.html file. Ooh, what people wrote? Can I see what people wrote? I'm nosy. Create new load. Man, they're not showing me. You know how SoundCloud shows you? That's how they should have it. Like I should be seeing pop-ups. But anyway, let's add some elements. And we're gonna also put comments. So the first comment is going to be, remember comments, you press Control backslash. So Command plus backslash or Control plus backslash gives you comments. All right. So the first comment we're gonna write, we're gonna have unordered lists and ordered lists. So we're gonna write unordered lists. And then I'm gonna make one for the ordered list. So we're gonna learn some HTML elements real quick. The unordered list, we kind of went through last time in class. We're gonna make sure you guys have some written out. Home. You can just copy this, paste it a few times. That way you don't have to keep writing them over and over. About, blog. And then for our ordered list, we're gonna start with the parent element being OL, and then some LI, list item elements for the bottom part. And we're gonna write first, second, third, because ordered lists are numbered lists. I know this is not the slowest speed, but please bear with me. Try and go as fast as you can. I'm gonna let y'all keep looking.
And we can also do the,
I go.
it gives you a lot of control with CSS and JavaScript when you work those in with these list items. And with ordered lists, you've got the ability to add different types. So as well with styling, which we're going to get into later as well, we can add an attribute of type, and we can just do type A, and that will allow us to change what these ordered list identifiers are. So here we just did a type A, so it's going to start A, B, C, D. We can all
right, so let's check that out on our browser. So I have my unordered list, home, about, blog, and I have my ordered list type ABC. If I hover over, I see I got other types. A indicates uppercase letters, A lower indicates lowercase, I indicates Roman numerals, lowercase, 1 is number by default. I like Roman numerals, so we're gonna fuck with some Roman numerals. All right, so is everyone here?
Not yet doing the ordered list. What does that say? Type I?
Yes.
Okay.
You can change your type to anything you want. It could be A, it could be I, it could be the 1. Angelica, Arnelia.
Still typing.
Please learn.
Order list.
All right, while y'all are typing, I'm gonna keep this up and we're gonna keep watching the video.
also do lowercase, and we could also do these Roman numeral type. And so we can just refresh that. So there are some options with the ordered lists as well. And with unordered lists, you've got the ability to attach style. So this is the same for any attribute, and we're going to get into that in the next lesson, how to use style to really customize the look of your elements. But for now, we can see that when we add in the style, it actually adds this, makes our unordered list look like an ordered list. And we do have a few options here for.
So let's see, unordered list. I'm gonna add style to it. You should see automatic completions, by the way. When you start typing, VS Code should be including some completion to tell you stuff that you can put in. Equals list. Why does it not give me? Oh, it stopped completing for me. Oh man. All right, anyway, list, style, type, And then I'm gonna say style type.
Style. So with Dreamweaver, I've got a bunch of options here in the drop down, and I can do something like a square as well.
Let's change this. Let's start with some symbols. Let's see what symbols look like. It didn't change anything. Let's try square. We got some squares. What are the other options here? Armenian. What's Armenian? Oh my God.
I was gonna say a Kardashian.
Let's do Lower Greek in honor of COVID. Okay. All right. So just playing with some features. You don't have to do this, but just running around with some things while I wait for y'all to get caught up. I'm not seeing any dones in the chat. Are y'all caught up in writing your unordered list and ordered lists? Only difference is one is UL for unordered, and OL for ordered list. And then list items are LIs, all underneath, nested underneath the parent element. Also, I'm gonna knock mine back. All right.
I'm going to go back out and refresh it. I can see that these unordered list now has these square type list indicators or list types. And additional to ordered lists, we want to talk about tables quickly. So tables used to be used.
All right, so next we're going to make a table. Are y'all caught up to unordered lists and ordered lists?
Yes.
All right, I asked you to type done in the chat. Arnelia, how about you?
Yes.
All right, we're going to start writing table.
Oh, cool.
Then table row. As you can see, it should auto-complete a little bit. You can even write table head, and if you have emit abbreviations, which should come built in, you can click it and it will complete that for you too. We're gonna write first. Gonna copy this a few times. Again, third. And then we're gonna add another table row, TR, TH, not TH, table data. So these are the heads of the table, header cell in the table. We're gonna write table data, HTML, copy and paste this a few times. Oh, another cool thing, if you press Option Shift and then down, you can also do that much quicker. But also, all fine if you don't remember that.
Oops.
All right. So how's the building of your table going? Let's see what my table looks like. First, second, third, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Cool, cool, cool. If I try to put a third one, a fourth one in here, what happens? Bad. It comes on the cell, but just doesn't get appended to a table head. So it looks bad for us, but Java, HTML doesn't really care. It's going to keep rendering out table data. All right. Type done in the chat when you finish making your table. I'm going to keep playing the video.
quite a bit for styling and positioning different items and different content on web pages. And this was before CSS came along. So CSS has really changed how we do our HTML code, but it is important to understand that tables are still have their usefulness. And a basic table structure is that we've got our opening table, closing table tags. So again, those opening closings, we've got a TR, which is a table row. We've got a TH, which is a table header. And we've got a TD. So this one's a little bit harder to guess. So rows, headers, TD is table data. So these are essentially all the different cells. So if you had another bunch of another row here, and you'd have again these TDs, so these table datas. So again, this is a basic table structure, and you can really build out your tables. So the first row is going to have the headers, and we go out to our browser, we can see that this is how our basic table is set up. And with adding styling and attributes, we're able to add quite a bit more into the table, how it's going to look. So if you want to add in a border, so the thing with tables is they do have their own attributes, and you can use styling as well. So by default, they do have their own attributes. So we can do table border, and this will add.
All right, let's give this table a border.
Add that border around these table items. So it's a little bit easier to see all the different cells that are available within the table. But for the most part, mainly we're going to be using styling to control tables. So we're not going to be using a lot of these table attributes. And as you can see, when we do this drop down, we've got a background option, background color, and a whole bunch of options for the table as well.
My table do not like table border. Let me see something. Well, for one, let me see if it even worked. Oh, well, it worked. Table, HTML, element. Let's see some of its features. Border. This integer attribute defines in pixels the size of the frame. If set to 0, the frame attribute is set to void. To achieve similar effect, use CSS border shorthand. Okay, cool. I don't know why this is complaining. Does it not like it because it's why doesn't it like it? Why is it complaining? Or maybe that's just, no, that's not how it does it, because type is like this. Man, sometimes this should be tripping. It does not know why it doesn't like it. And both
Try capital B.
What? What? Why does it know it's an attribute now? That's so weird. Border. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a lowercase b though, but also doesn't really care. As you can see, HTML is not too picky about how you're typing this. As long as there's no space, you don't even need the string, to be honest. It'll read this as a character and still do the same. But if you wanted a space, if you required a space in the thing, then you definitely need to be a string. Anyway, let's go back. We have.
Within this lesson, we're going to be talking about hyperlinks and how to add images.
Oh, before I move on, everyone caught up? We're good?
Good.
All right, cool. Angelica, I'm assuming you're good. Nelia, good? Cool. All right, please put dones in the chat so that way I don't have to ask and we can just speedily continue. All right, the next, we're gonna add a comment and say hyperlink. And we're going to learn about hyperlinks.
So this is going to add some additional functionality to your HTML code. So in the past lessons, we've been just talking about HTML code, and it actually hasn't done anything. So there's nothing other than the actual textual content that you're placing, and that's what's showing up within the browser. So here, using hyperlinks, this gives us the ability to add some kind of actionable items within our HTML code. And the way that that's done is that's just done with these H tags. So they're the href tags, and the href is going to be the location where you're linking out to. So I'm just going to link out to Google. And then again, just closing that one off. And then whatever content is going to between these A's is going to be actually the hyperlink itself. So here is how we set up a basic hyperlink.
All right, so let's make a hyperlink. A tag, the A stands for anchor. If the A element has an href attribute, then it represents a hyperlink, a hypertext anchor labeled by its contents. So as soon as we add an href to this, this is no longer just an anchor, it's now a hyperlink that links out to something else. We're going to be linking out to Google. Free promo for google.com. And then we're going to type in, I'm going to type in Google because that's what this is. Save that, hit your browser, refresh the page. Look, a nice little Google hyperlink, and it brings you right there. If we wrap this in a P tag, P tags stand for paragraph. They understand, they have innate styling to put this on a new line. So if I refresh the page, boom, now there's nice little spacing between this. What I want to do is I'm going to have one hyperlink in here and one here. Google. I'm gonna say Google link and P tag. All right, now let me refresh. Google link and P tag, Google link. And as you can see, the P tag itself, it has styling that interacts with other elements as well. So it knows to space out this next A tag because the P tag itself is a paragraph and it has to remain with that styling. So very useful to use P tags just for styling, as you can see that they're doing in this Udemy course. Has everyone made their hyperlink? Has everyone made a hyperlink?
No, still haven't.
Yeah.
All right, if you haven't made your hyperlink, speak up, share your screen.
Equal, okay.
Share your screen, Malcolm.
Okay.
All right, so the problem is your A tags are not set correctly. All right, so remember, elements need to have a opening tag, the content in between, and then the closing tag. So you have your href equal google.com, and it's not closed out with another arrow to close it out. Boom. Once you put the arrow, you see it automatically does completion for you. So normally when you're coding, if you want to write the fastest way, you write your tag, you let it auto close it, and then you write the content in between. Now save that, hit your browser. And you should see Google. All right, now copy that code, create a second one and wrap it in a P tag. And also put comments in your code. The comments is not for me. The comments is for y'all. So that way when you review this, you can see what exactly this is with a little note. You should get used to coding with comments because comments are how we communicate to other people what I am doing here, and also how we communicate to ourselves when we go back to code in the future about what we are doing here. All right. So now back to me sharing screen. Here we go. Everyone can see? Yes?
Yes, I can see. Is that,
Yes.
wait, can you go back? Well, no, I'll just do it from your page. Never mind.
Can you see this? Can you see my VS Code?
Yes, I can.
All right, make your P tag, wrap it around A tag, and that will have a little nested element and see how it looks. All right, I'm gonna continue.
To our webpage, we just refresh that. We see by default the hyperlink gets underlined. When we click it, we go out to google.com. So that's all that the hyperlink does, and it adds this additional interactivity to the content that the browser is outputting. And that's going to work the same way for this. So I can actually click this local file. This is the same one that I've opened up just using the path, and it opens up in Google as well. So for a hyperlink, it's relatively straightforward. The href is just the URL path. Now you do have additional attributes that you can add in here. And as you can see here, Google or Dreamweaver is giving me a bunch of attributes. And one of the ones that's commonly used is setting the target. So by default, if you don't set a target, it's just going to go to self. So you see that we do have that option here to set it to self, but by default, it goes to self. And what self means is that it goes to the document, which is within the same frame as the one that was clicked. So that's why when we had that Google opening up, we actually moved to that and moving off of our page. And another common one is blank. And what blank does is this opens up the document in a new window or tab. And then there are a few other ones as well. So there's parent and top. And those are used when parent is when you're trying to break out a frame and go to the parent window, and top is when you want to do a full body window. So those aren't as commonly used, but you should be aware of them as well. So now when we go back out here, we refresh it, we click our hyperlink, we see that Google actually opens up in a separate page. And that's exactly what we wanted for this, because we want to keep users within our website and we don't readily want them.
Oh, we're doing so well.
Right.
All right,
Oh,
so
I can-
we're gonna add target though. So one thing you see here, if I start writing target, it tells me exactly what my options are. Self is the default, loads the URL in the same browser. Blank loads the URL in a new browsing content. This is usually a tab. But users can configure browsers to use new windows instead. Parent loads the URL into a parent browser. Top loads your top level browsing content. So most of this stuff we will never use. Self and blank are, or default really, and blank are really the only two use cases, common use cases. So we're going to turn this one into the blank. I don't like it because I didn't have the equal sign. I'm going to save that. I'm going to hit my page. Refresh my page. All right, we see the Google link in the P tag, Google link with the blank, it opens a new page. Cool, cool, cool. I'm not gonna ask y'all if y'all can do that because I expect y'all to be able to add attributes comfortably. Let me refresh my page.
It's very important to understand that if you do need it to go off, you should be including that as well. Now, another type of tag is the image tag, and this is used if you want to add in an image within your HTML code. So commonly, so just type in a source. So all it is image, source, and it's just another one of those self-closing tags where we don't have an opening image and a closing image. We just have all that information contained within that image itself. And images are also inline tags. So which means that they're not going to create a separate line of code. So if you place that image within your text here, this is going to keep in line with this text, as opposed to paragraphs and additional tags that we're going to be looking at later that actually are going to break that and drop us into a new line. So images are inline, they stay in line with the rest of the content within that element. So with the image, I've just pasted in a source for the image. And this is just a website that allows you to pick up, it's Lorem Pixel. If you're not familiar with Lorem text, so this is just basically space holding text, and Lorem Pixel is the same thing. It's a space holder image, and here I can set the size of the image that I want returned, so height and width. So we're going to keep it at a width of 400, a height of 200, and we're going to select in the category sports. And now when we go out to our page, we're going to see that we should have an image here within line of the text. So there's our image showing up, and actually can make that a little bit smaller. And as we had mentioned before, that this image is again in line with the additional text that surrounds it.
All right, so let's get an image to put up, right? So we don't have to do that. We can literally go on Google Images, search something, soldier killed bear attack. All right, random enough, I'm with it. All right, shout out to the bear, I guess. Oh man, we're gonna copy the image address. What we want? We want the link address. Let's see that. No.
Said copy link address.
Let me make sure. Let me make sure. Copy image address. All right, we're gonna try this. Yeah, try copy image address and paste that in your source. That should work.
What did I just do?
It might be a huge file, but you put it in your source. So image, src. If your page looks crazy, press Control Z. Thank you for the ice. If your page looks crazy, press Control Z to undo whatever you did. And then once I do Control Z or Command Z, I should see image source equals, and then I have my what are these quotation marks. Just paste the copy image address. Once again, Command Z. If I fuck up, just paste it in there, and I should be in there. All right, I'm gonna save it. Click on this, refresh. The bear's on my page. This is a murderous soldier killing bear. But I'm gonna assume the soldier was fucking with the bear because bears are wonderful people. Love them. They can never do anything wrong. All right. Does everyone have an image on their page?
No.
Share your screen. How about you, Angelica? Angel.
I do.
Good job. Arnelia.
I have one.
Cool. All right. Let's see your image. So image are equal. So again, attributes all have to have the name equal and then the value. All right, now you got to close this out. So press Command Z before you even go here and paste Command Z, because this is too much to read. All right, now that you have your closed image, you got to close out your element. So let's close out your element. This is an inline element. So inline elements do not have the closing tag outside. It instead closes this all as one element. So slash, and then the arrow, boom. Now you go back to your source. Now that you made your element first, always make your elements, then you add what you're gonna add. Save that. Also, I don't think you need to keep pressing the debug. I think you should be able to refresh the page after the first time it comes up. Open, try that.
Oh, try that. Start debugging.
You should also try run without debugging, because the run without the all right, well, you got a terrible link here. I'll put one in the chat. I'll put mine in the chat.
I should just probably click a better what's it called? Photo.
Go to the chat, copy what I just pasted, and replace yours with it. Zoom chat. I would Command Z, so that way you don't delete everything. Close it again. At least you're getting practice with closing your elements. The cool thing is that HTML doesn't care if you have extra new lines or spaces or anything like that, but you can backspace it and fix it if you want. All right, save that. Let's go back. Let's see our killer beer. No, don't run again. Just go back to your web browser, refresh the page. Cool. Now, every time we're just going to refresh the page. That should speed up your development a little bit. All right, good job. All right, stop sharing. And let's see what else we got to display on some raw HTML today. We got like 5 minutes left, but I'll be here with y'all until, let's see, what other content we got. I really want us to finish out the HTML content, but we started extremely.
And that's important to remember that images don't break. If you want to break out an image, you can do it within styling, or you can do it within your HTML code by adding additional tags that do that break and that block coding style. And the really neat thing about images is, let's say you want to have a clickable image, all you would have to do is move that over between the href tags. And now when I refresh it, this image now is a hyperlink and it's linking out to Google.
All right, let's make a hyperlink image. So all we're going to do is copy this. Make a comment, hyperlink image. We're going to make our A tag first. Make sure you close it out. We're going to have an href. And the only difference is our hyperlink image is actually going to click us and bring us back to this. So we're going to add the href. And the href is going to be the same as the source. This is going to be a little hard to read, so we're going to make sure that we wrap this well by using some new lines. That way we can clearly see the A tag, then nested underneath the A tag is the image, and then closed all out is the A tag. All right, so if I go back to this now, refresh my page, I have this. When I click it, it brings me here. I don't want anything really breaking my flow. So we're gonna make this a blank. We're putting all the things we learned together. I'm gonna go back. All I did was press the back button. Don't have to do anything crazy. Refresh my page. Click this again. Now it opens in a new tab. I can close back out and keep going back to it. All right, that's a better process. All right, now we got our hyperlink image. And let's see what else he got for us.
Again, these are going to be very common. Hyperlinks are all over the place within web development, as well as images are really commonplace. So these two combined are going to be some of the most used tags within your HTML.
All right, so that's where we're going to stop for today, right? We have HTML common tags, div and spans. We have HTML ad styling, HTML form type, structuring, and bring it all together as a template. So we are already making the template. That's why we have the head tag here and we have our body tag. I want to show y'all the breakup real quick. So we have the head and then we have our body. So HTML, we always got to have the HTML. We always have the doc type. We have the head that includes our favicon, our title, our meta. I can really change this back to UTF-8. We have our body, and our body contains all the content that we are displaying on our page, which is a wonderful, crazy looking page right now. All right. Thank y'all for coming to this class. So we are going to pair y'all up, right? Malcolm, I'm gonna pair you with Angelica for this first session. Arnelia, you're gonna be paired with Angel, who I'm pretty sure is not really here. Actually, you're gonna be paired with Nolan and Angel. So those are both your partners for this first week of class. Your homework for this class is going to be let's look at the HTML tutorials. I think y'all are ready for an assessment, to be honest. We already did the image, which is there's going to be video, audio, and even other things. I want y'all to do, where's the assessment here? Advanced text format, debugging, HTML, assessment. I want y'all to take these assessments for the first one, Introduction to HTML. So taste the assessment. Let's look what it looks like. Prerequisites, getting started, what's in HTML fundamentals, creating hyperlinks, and advanced text formatting. So it shows you the prerequisites. When you're going through your assessment, make sure you open up all of these. Starting point, raw text you need, CSS to use the styling. To begin, get the raw text you need to mark up, CSS to style the HTML. You don't have to do the CSS. You can definitely use CodePen, or you can use VS Code. It's up to you. Then let's see, project brief, block, inline, semester, hints and tips, examples. Assessment. Put your work into an online shareable editor, CodePen, VS Code. Write a post asking for assessment and or help at MDN Discourse. Your post should include a descriptive title such as assessment wanted, details of what you already tried and what you like to do, a link to the example you want assessed, a link to the other. Check this out.
Okay.
This is a crazy looking page. Assessment wanted. So these are everyone who made theirs. Why does this page look so terrible? Y'all might not do that tutorial. Let's look for a better one, actually. I really don't like that. Oh man, structuring up a page content. I kind of like this one already. The header, the navigation menu, the main content, welcome text, Example, this is what it looks like. Oh, this is assessment or further help. Okay, so you don't really have to get that far. All right, apply, you should, project brief. This is the instructions. Your task is to take the content for the homepage of a bird watching website and add structural elements to it so it can have the page laid out applied to it. It needs to have a header spanning the full width of the site, containing the main title for the page, the site logo, navigation menu, title and logo. Main content area contains 2 columns, a main block to continue the welcome text, and a sidebar to contain image thumbnails, a footer containing copyright information and credits. You need to add a suitable wrapper for the header, navigation, main content, welcome text, image, footer. So this is what you're going to be trying to make. I do not expect y'all to finish this, but if you get as far, you know what I'm saying? I'm very proud of y'all. Get as far as you can and make as close to this as possible. You do not have to worry about styling and how it's supposed to look. This zip file contains all your starting assets. Grab the zip file, assets.zip, assets.zip. All right, so this is going to be your assets folder. Make sure to move this into your actual code place. So at the end of the day, you should have assets and then all this stuff in it. The index.html is going to be your starting point. So the index.html already comes with code in it. So you're not asked out. They did set you up. Actually, I think this is the finished version because this is welcome and this is favorite photos. So you have the index.html as your cheat sheet. So that way you know how to build it. But please first try and build it for yourself and get it as close to that as possible. I don't know what I'm showing you anymore. I'm trying to find my screen sharing to stop. All right, CSS to style up the HTML and images that are used on the page. Let me also look at that. Yeah, it has a CSS too. All right, so yeah, they give you everything you need. All right, y'all got it. I believe in y'all. Before attempting the assessment, you should have already worked through the rest of the course with a particular emphasis on document and website structure. So yeah, this is what your homework is: document and website structure and structuring a page of content. What am I doing? Insert link. Oh, it's Command K. All right, y'all. Your homework is now in the document. I'm gonna add your partners to the documents. Make sure you contact your partners and find some time to work with them on the assessment and getting as far as you can. If you finish the first assessment, go to the next one. Get as far as y'all feel comfortable with as much time as y'all have. All right. Good class.
All right, good class, man.
All right, glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. See y'all next week at 7 p.m. If y'all cannot make it, the link to the when to meet, use the link to the when to meet, update it on your availability. I do check that every day, not every day, every Friday before I say send out when I'm gonna do the class. So you have until Friday to update the when to meet for me to be considerate for your schedule. All right, later, y'all.
All right.
Later, thank you.
No problem.